When I was 8 years old, my parents and I moved into a neighborhood that didn't feel real, though at the time I didn't have the words for why. I just remember the silence. Not peaceful silence, not the kind that makes you feel safe, but the kind that presses against your ears until you start noticing your own breathing. The houses were identical. Same pale siding, same trimmed hedges, same dull green mailboxes lined up with military precision. Even the sidewalks looked strange. Too clean, like someone had scrubbed them until they were afraid of being touched. For the first hour, we couldn't even tell which house was ours. Every driveway looked the same. Every porch light cast the same pale glow. That afternoon, the HOA president knocked on our door. He smiled before the door was even fully open, like he already knew us. His handshake lasted just a little too long enough for my dad to shift his weight uncomfortably. Tucked under his arm was a plastic container with a cake inside. It was decorated nicely, careful frosting, clean edges, the kind of cake that looks better than it tastes. Later that evening, when my mom cut into it, I understood why. It was sweet but wrong, artificial, the kind of sweetness that dries your mouth instead of satisfying it, like flavor pretending to be food, the kind that leaves you thirsty afterward. The HOA president also handed my parents a packet of papers. He stood on the porch while they skimmed through it, smiling the entire time. Rules about lawns, trash bins, noise complaints, outdoor decorations, how long cars could be parked on the street. Normal HOA things, boring adult stuff. I wasn't paying attention. I was watching ants crawl near the porch steps. Then my dad stopped flipping pages. He reread one line silently, his eyebrows pulled together. When I asked what it said, the HOA president laughed, but it came out too fast, too light, like he was covering something up. He said it was just an old neighborhood joke. Nothing serious. My mom took the packet anyway. That night, I couldn't sleep. The house felt alert, like it was listening. Every creak sounded louder than it should have. I waited until my parents were asleep, then snuck into the kitchen and took the packet off the counter. I flipped through it until I found the line my dad had stopped on. It was printed in the same font as everything else. Same size, same spacing. No bold letters, no warning symbols. Just one sentence. Don't let the midnight salesman in. That was it. No explanation, no context. Just sitting there between a rule about patio furniture and another about window blinds like it belonged. I didn't sleep at all. At exactly 12 o'clock, there were 3 knocks on the front door. Not loud, not soft, perfectly even, like someone tapping on a desk. My parents froze. My mum stood up and locked the door again, even though it was already locked. Then a voice came through the wood. "Mr. and Mrs. Grayson, would you be interested in this product I'm selling? I must say, it's an offer I can't refuse." His voice was calm, polite, practiced, the way customer service workers talk when they're reading from a script. He didn't sound angry. He didn't sound threatening. He sounded patient. No one answered. He kept talking. I counted the minutes on the microwave clock. Exactly 5 minutes. He spoke the entire time, changing the wording slightly each night. Sometimes it was a limited opportunity. Sometimes it was essential. Sometimes it was a solution. But it always started with our names. Always polite. Always certain. Then, mid-sentence, he stopped. No footsteps. No sound of leaving, just silence where he had been. This happened every night. Lights off by 11, curtains shut, TV muted. My parents whispered instead of talking. Sometimes I peeked through the blinds and saw porch lights turning off down the street one by one, like the entire neighborhood was holding its breath together. One night I asked why we didn't just tell him to go away. My mom didn't answer right away. She stared at the dark window, watching our reflection instead of the street outside. "Because we don't talk to him," she said quietly. "That's the rule." "But he's not doing anything weird," I whispered. My dad turned the TV volume down even more, even though it was already barely audible. "You don't know that," he said. "And neither do we." "He knows our names," I said. "How does he know our names?" Neither of them answered. My mom squeezed my knee too hard, like she was trying to physically keep me still. "You don't open that door," my dad said. His voice was tight, controlled. "You don't answer him. You don't look at him. You don't think about him. You stay away from the front of the house after midnight. Do you understand me?" I nodded. even though I didn't understand anything except that they were scared. After a few weeks, fear turned into curiosity, then frustration. I was tired of hiding, tired of being quiet in my own house. One night, before my mom could stop me, I walked to the door and unlocked it. The salesman stood just outside the reach of the porch light. He looked normal, too normal. Clean clothes, neatly combed hair, empty hands, no bag, no clipboard, nothing to suggest he was selling anything at all. Before I could speak, my dad rushed forward and shoved me backward into the hallway hard enough that I fell. The salesman didn't even look at me. His eyes locked onto my father instead. His smile widened just slightly. He said my dad's name like he'd known it for years. I don't know what was said outside. The door closed behind them, and the wind started immediately. It rushed through the trees so hard the windows rattled. The pressure in my ears made everything feel underwater. It only lasted a few seconds. When my dad came back inside, he was carrying an expensive towel warmer. He held it against his chest like it mattered, like it was important. He walked past us without speaking and sat down on the couch. He never spoke again. Not really. The doctors said his brain was fine, awake, responsive in all the wrong ways. Whatever made him was gone. Years passed. College, distance, therapy, marriage. The knocking never came again. But the rule stayed. Yesterday, my mother died. The house is mine now. I found the packet again. The rule is still there. Don't let the midnight salesman in. It's almost 11:30.